Tale, Star Wars, The Edge of the Empire, Fantasy Flight's wonderful role-playing game. I am here tonight with three amazing players. Before we get jumped in, back and strapped, we're going to go around and introduce them. Starting first, let's start with James.
Hi everybody, my name is James. I play Cookie the Wookiee, our ship's mechanic and resident furball. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yes. Along with Cookie, we have Sam's amazing character, Sam.
Yeah, I am Sam. I play Zal, and to be discovered what her part in this whole thing will be if we all live through it and she doesn't kill Daniel's character. It'll be great. Quigley.
Not Salix.
Not Salix. I
Not
did
Salix.
it this time. I was practicing it.
I'm glad you did, because I certainly don't.
I'm glad you want to kill Salix, though.
No, nobody does. I don't want you to die in the next game. That's all. This is for Pathfinder. If you're not watching Pathfinder, go watch Pathfinder and Penny for a Tale, because it's amazing. And we had a really great session last night. Ian is a great GM. I hope he's in the chat, because I'm not in there. So a little P for T shout out there. Daniel, you, not Salix.
So I am Daniel. I am here all the time. I play every other Monday with Alex here for Star Wars. I play every Sunday with Anne on Age of Ashes, where I am Salix, the Elven Guard. And then I am here every Friday, alternating Fridays for Scion, the game that I run, and our first actual legitimate short rest series where me and Ian, the GM of Pathfinder, go on and we just kind of talk about random stuff from games. We interview other GMs from the Penny channel and things like that. So you guys should definitely come in and check us out.
I want to be interviewed. I want that.
Hint, hint.
I want to interview. I want Between the Two Nerds. I can't say this. I can't offer that because Bethesda will come and get me. So no, I don't really mean that. But that's my idea. Bethesda, call me. Yeah. All right. So we are back. Star Wars. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. I need you guys to roll your destiny die. As with every start of the game, they will roll a destiny die. It is a white die with black and white pips on it, representing the dark side and the light side. This is kind of the pull that they're going to have in the game. So the players will get get the light side points. I get the dark side points as the GM. When they use a light side point, it transfers over to dark side point, vice versa with me. So we're going to go around. James, what'd you get?
2 dark side.
I love it. I love it. This is great. Starting great. Sam?
1 dark side.
Oh, God, yes. Yes. Oh, Daniel?
2 dark side.
Oh my god.
Oh my
I
god.
just yeeted my pencil. I was so excited. Hold on.
We're all gonna die.
Yeah, you're all.
See, it's going to be a fun party.
It's gonna be great.
Look, I'm hoping that Alex uses all those dark side points when you're trying to kill me later. All right, so I'll just throw that out there.
Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. It's within the Force. It is the decision of the Force. So starting back, we're going to do a little recap, just to make sure that we all know what's happening, what's going on. You landed last game, and a little bit before last game. It's like the end of 2 games ago. You landed on Arshada, the Hutt criminal world, the Hutt criminal moon, known for gambling, smuggling, anything debaucherous. Here it is. There's a price for everything, to include exotic things, exotic people. It's there. Make sure I'm being heard. Sam, why don't you tell me what was Zal doing last game? What was kind of the overview for Zal? If we had a little camera following her, what happened to Zal?
Yeah, Zal joined the resistance and kind of worked her way up through the ranks and got put in this mission that not very many people could kind of handle on Narshada. And basically was originally supposed to be following information about what was it, the Black Sun. Um, and then it sort of just turned into there are ships that have just been sort of disappearing, being attacked, and we're not sure by who. So she's just been gathering information however she can. She's been working in a brothel. So that's a good way to get people talking. And yeah.
Yeah. Cookie. Cookie.
Yeah.
What did Cookie do last? What triumphant thing did you get to do last game?
Are you talking about when I ripped the bars out of the window, or when I ripped the heart out of the droid in
The still beating heart of
alleyway?
the yes, that is the one.
The arc reactor out of the chest of the B3B droid in the alley that was coming to kill us all.
Mm-hmm. Quigley, why were they trying to kill you?
I have no idea, honestly.
You have no idea.
People, we were followed into the brothel, I guess, and they saw us escaping through the side, and then we were accosted. And
Okay.
I had to say goodbye to my two little chitlins, and send them off into the world with a blaster and a handful of credits.
Honestly, that's what my parents did too. This is just my story, yes.
House is bit.
I'm Jen. I'm way out of my element. I'm just dragged along through this. So yes. Quigley managed to let Bit and Jen make their way, saying that they were to meet at the safe house. Quigley, do you have remember where the safe house is?
It's right outside the Hut Palace.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
I was just assuming that I could just make it up, and then I had to actually do research. I was like, what is on Noshada?
That is a very good question.
It's outside the Hut Palace.
I'm glad you thought of this. No, that's excellent. So after you have let the two girls have their escape, you managed to through massive carnage on Cookie's part, great shooting on Zal and Quigley's part, you managed to escape yourselves. Coulson leading you down into what appeared to be the lower levels of the brothel, turns out to be on top of a rather large underground circuit of where you found out there were pod racers. Having narrowly escaped the pod racers on your speeder bikes, you have kind of taken the way Coulson had told you through some back tunnels away from the circuit of the pod racing, which was good because they were horrifying. And eventually to the end of this junction in the sewers, and you have climbed up a long ladder. Who is first? Who went up the stairs or the ladder first?
Quigley.
Oh, did I?
Did you? Now you did. Quigley, excellent.
All right.
And I remember Cookie was. All I remember is that Cookie was pretty beaten and bloodied by that droid, and so it was just kind of bringing up the rear, trudging behind everybody with a grumpy attitude.
Yes, as one would, being shot up by IG unit.
The smell of burnt fur kind of permeates the air.
You did have some stim packs, luckily, so you're able to hobble. You're not, flat out on your back, which is probably what you would have been without them. Quigley, you're the
Yes.
first to see it. You breach the top, and as you move it, as I had said at the end of last game, you hear the thudding rhythmic noise of music, of electronica music, sci-fi space music. And as you move this large, heavy tile kind of piece, this carapace almost kind of, you push it back and you peek up, you do see the strobing lights and moving feet and ankles of people as they kind of scatter as they feel and see the portion of this floorboard kind of move. That is what is in your immediate perception. What do you do? What you guys doing?
Well, I guess. Yeah, he's gonna come out like get out and just kind of like look around to make sure they're not like going to be like actively harmed or anything. And
As
then
you
he's
get up, mhm. As you get up from the ladder, Zal, if you're in the middle, you'll be able to, move up as well, and so will you, Cookie. As you get up to the dance floor and you kind of stand up, people are scattering. There was this dance floor had people on it, and you can tell that the thudding was not only from the bass of the music, but it was from the footfalls and dancing of the people. And as they scatter, it's a wide group of people, mostly and primarily barely clad, not a lot of clothing. This was the area, and the atmosphere is very dark. Think Orpheus, Daniel.
oh god,
For any
I would
Baltimore,
regret
that's a
this.
shout out.
Cookie shakes like a dog when they get out of the tunnel. Ugh.
That's good because you got some sewer
Ugh.
gunk on you. But
It
yes.
flings over the people that are closest to it.
So as you three move out or up, and people are scattering, there's you can see over in the distance there is a large bar, and people are turning their heads quickly to find what is happening as people are moving and starting to talk. Um, there is a bartender who is kind of watching you. And he's kind of making some movements, as if to call somebody, or is to get somebody up here. You all do see that. Do you want to immediately leave? Are you going to try and talk to anybody here? What you guys doing?
Quigley's like, we gotta go. We shouldn't be here.
Quigley, I want you sorry. I want you to make me a streetwise roll.
Is that skullduggery,
It's cunning.
or is there actually a streetwise?
There's a streetwise skill.
Oh.
Yeah. It's under cunning. So if you don't have a pip in it, then it's just
Oh,
going to be
yeah.
your base cunning roll. And it's going to be just 2 purple.
Ha! 1 success.
1 success. Good. Excellent. Cool. All right. So Quigley, you are kind of the this session is going to be a little bit focused on you because you have the the prior experience on Nashirda, having done a lot of research to know where your safe house is. He's gonna kill me
Minimal
later.
research. Let's go with that minimal research,
He's gonna
sir.
kill me later. No, it's great. You did your research. That's excellent. That's what I wanted. So having done that research, you know that this type of club is kind of on the boundaries between the casino and the red light district. You don't know this specific bar, but this type of like dark, atmospheric, thudding, hot dance place is usually kind of somewhere between the casino and the brothel area. So right now your immediate guess is that you're probably heading into the casino area, which is you don't know quite where. Not exactly close to where your safe house is, but it could be further.
Okay. Does it look like there's like a coat rack, like a coat room somewhere?
Give me a perception check. 2 purple. You guys can do perception checks as well if you would like. Maybe not looking for a coat room, but something else.
1 success, 3 advantage.
Okay. You see from your vantage point the entrance to the location. You see people moving. Some people are leaving. Some people are moving out. The entrance doesn't have a slidey door or anything. It just is open. There's a little bit of a hallway beyond that, and then into Narshada proper. From where you can tell and from where you're standing and kind of the people moving, there's not really a coat rack. This is not really the type of place for that, but you do suspect that there are probably some sort of bathroom area towards the back, which would be in the opposite direction of the entrance. So you would probably be able to see like people maybe coming and going from area back there. Sam and James.
I rolled a perception check and got 3 successes and 3 threats. Cookie is just on like safety duty, is
Okay.
looking for any signs of threat.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. And what'd you get, Sam?
Yeah. I got 2 successes, 1 threat.
Okay.
So I would just kind of like take off the cloak that she was wearing, and she's already wearing basically what these guys are wearing, just like
Mhm.
this very sort of scantily clad type
Mhm.
thing. And she's kind of trying to make the crowd believe that we meant to come here and don't worry. This is great.
This is where
Yeah.
the party is. Okay. Give me a cool
Yeah.
test. I want a cool test from you. That's pretty cool. You're gonna do 2 purple because these people, they don't know. They really want to dance.
I want to dance. 2 successes, 1 advantage.
Cool. Cool. All right. So, James, your eyes are focusing right now on the barman. The barman is waving at somebody, and you can see commotion kind of in that area. Your best inclination is that they're probably summoning bouncers or security guards or somebody to like come up from wherever they're signaling. Sam, you kind of play it off. You out of all of the of the 3 of you, you're kind of the coolest one. You're the one that anybody would be like, oh no, she just somehow ended up here. This is fine. You are you're kind of dressed the part at the moment. So that is there. Most people are actually looking at Cookie. Cookie being that tall Wookiee, being that tall standout of a crowd.
So, I Cookie, I want to walk over to the bar and
Okay.
try and like casually order a drink, like arm like elbow on the counter, just kind of like, so my good man.
Does your translator work at this point?
Probably not at. I mean, it's probably having some trouble because I don't think Cookie has ever had a drink before.
What do you
Um,
order? What do you order?
Yeah, it's that first time you go into a bar when you're like 21 and you're not drinking out of a trash can at a frat party.
Why are you
It's
calling
like-
me out? Why are you calling me out, James?
No, geez.
And it's like, shit, what do I order? It's like so what do you recommend? I'll have what he's having, and just point to the person next to me.
That's a great line. So the bartender will kind of actually stop his movements to call somebody and just kind of watch you as you, the Wookiee, come up towards the bar and kind of like meander up towards him and lean
Flick a
against.
piece of like algae off of my shoulder.
Person next to you is just like,
Garnish
not
for the
algae.
drink.
garnish for the drink. Give me a cool test. It'll be 3 purple. This one's a little bit more difficult because you are a Wookiee covered in algae and just came
And
up
I
from the floor.
have no cool. Just
Excellent.
it's not going to work at all. 1 success, 3 threats.
Okay.
Like I get my drink, but then I got bouncers coming anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of what's happening. So the bartender will just kind of continuously stare at you. He doesn't need to look at what he's pouring. He is just going to stare at you and is just like, okay.
Cookie is making a series of Wookiee noises that are meant to be small talk, but they're just not coming through the translator properly, and so it's even more awkward than it would be if they actually spoke. What is it?
Common.
Yeah,
Common. We're just gonna call it common. It's like galactic common or something. So yes, through the
So I said, hey, guy, get your own monkey. Wait, what?
The bartender's like looking around and it's just like okay here and yes, as you as this happens, you notice that there is some movement from either side of the bar, like at the ends of it. You know how the bar kind of like hits you at waist, like, or kind of chest height. I'm short, sorry. I don't know how normal people handle bars. It's always like up here, and I'm like, please, may I have some more? um, but on either side of this bar, there are doors, and it looks like that people had opened them and had called out to get somebody to come up here, and you do see movement at that point. Quigley, what are you doing?
That's what he said, just blowing raspberries in the corner.
Okay, that is like, honestly, that is, I think, what most people would do in any like stressful Star Wars situation. Is like, I don't know.
He's having a mental breakdown right now. No,
Come here often?
I guess he's watching the bouncers as they approach Cookie and trying to keep a general location of Zhao as she's trying to put across that we are supposed to be there because we want to.
Yeah. So yes, you will see as several bouncers actually emerge from the flanking side doors and move out and kind of push the crowd and to get to Cookie. It's really Cookie that they're kind of looking after, because Cookie is Cookie, and they're very big. So Cookie, 3 to 4 rather large various skin toned and phalanges bouncers of various space let's say space races, that sounds weird, space cultures. um Large bouncing looking individuals begin to kind of to surround you, or at least begin to like circle you, and one will approach you and be like, listen, we don't want any trouble here, but you gotta go.
To Cookie?
Yes, to Cookie.
And she like is drinking the drink and kind of trying to maybe like, come on.
They're leery, especially the one that kind of spoke, talked to you. They're not going to touch you. They kind of, this one knows kind of just like, yeah, you're a Wookiee. Listen, we don't want any trouble here. We just go.
And that's as long as Cookie can like hold up from like the beating earlier and the race through the pod, the pod racer tunnels, and the shoulders just slump, and it's just like, all right, fine. And Cookie just kind of starts walking towards the door.
Okay. As you walk to the door with these bouncers, they're not touching you. They won't touch you. They're just kind of escorting you out.
Trying to like make eye contact with Quigley. Is not has probably kind of doesn't really care about Val at all. Like, no offense, but like,
I was about to come over there.
no, but they've known each other for all of like a half an hour, so
it is. It has been a chaotic and kind of a tumultuous meeting for you guys. You don't know where each other stands yet. Like, you kind of had this, very big, exciting moment together, but haven't had a really good chance to.
Yeah. And Cookie and Quigley have got this kind of like buddy cop thing going on.
Yeah, you guys have some
bad
more
cop,
experience.
worst cop.
Bad worst cop.
And horrible parents.
Poor life choices. My favorite thing.
So you leave my 7-foot hairy life partner alone.
Just trying to like make a kind of like an eye contact with Quigley and like, all right, well, maybe I can deflect this so that so I can draw attention away from everybody else.
Yeah, so Quigley, you see that, and so do you, Zal. You see that there are about 4 bouncers kind of escorting Cookie out as they look over their shoulder to kind of make eye contact with you. Quigley, you're kind of further towards the back. You're kind of behind Zal at this point. Zal is the closer one to watching Cookie go towards the front entrance. Do you do anything? Do you continue on towards the bathroom, because that's where you wanted to kind of find. You wanted to find maybe a place.
So the reason he was looking for like a coat closet or something like that was because he was going to try to trade out his cloak for something else. That way, in case someone did have like some like, oh, they were wearing this, he would then be in something else.
Yes.
kind of to throw off the scent. But if he's seeing Cookie get escorted out, he'll just kind of like walk closer by Zal and just kind of nod to her as she's dancing, and like kind of wait until they escort Cookie all the way out before stepping out himself.
Quigley and Zal, you both have experience on Nar Shaddaa. So you kind of know how security works here on Nar Shaddaa. So as we kind of went into a little bit before, there are certain districts of this planet, or this moon, and it's broken down primarily into hut territory, other gang affiliation territory. The biggest kind of area, and the area that gets the most attention, is the casino area because of the amount of money that goes through it. So you have varying parties. You have people like, or that are in the Black Sun. You have the huts that are actually running it, as well as thousands of other mercenary groups that have money pouring into the casino district. So there is more security. There's the most security at this place, not this place, but in this district. The HoloNet, which is kind of like the internet of Star Wars, it's kind of like this large multi data transfer internet, essentially, of Star Wars, doesn't quite reach out here. It's not. It would be like trying to access the internet from behind many firewalls, from behind things that are preventing you from getting to the rest of the galaxy. However, the intranet that is here, the HoloNet that is kind of a part of Nar Shaddaa, is very closely linked. You guys know this, like I said, having been here, you know that the HoloNet is primarily controlled by the Hutts. The Hutts are the ones who are controlling this is kind of all weird things, because you think of Star Wars, social media, things like that, things that would exist in a Star Wars world for interconnection and communication. The Hutts are kind of running it here in the on the moon. So knowing that, you know that there are various security, not only bots, but security cameras, security personnel, that are all kind of linked into the higher Hut's surveillance system, that is primary of this area, of the casino area, because of the money. So both of you know that. You know that. And Zal, although you do not know where specifically you are, you kind of have a rough idea of the direction you are going from the brothel, and kind of trying to piece it all together. You know that you are at least in the boundaries of the casino area. And Quigley, you know that you're there, essentially. You're kind of on the front door of it. And you also know that you'll need to get through this area probably to get to your safe house. To go around it would be to go into the shipping, and kind of dirtier grunge yard of it, but it's not impossible. The quickest way to get to your safe house would definitely be through the casino, but you do have that security element as a part of it. So yes, thinking about trying to change, thinking about how you're going to be seen leaving this, like who is going to be watching you and what could be watching you, is definitely at the front of probably both of your minds. So you wanted to head towards, you were trying to change, you were trying to, switch your stuff. Right now with Cookie leaving, with them being escorted out, there isn't much time before they will kind of go into the casino area proper, or the casino alley that this dance club is in. So if you were going to, you'd need to do it quick, like you'd have to do it kind of on the way, or stay behind. Zal, same thing. You're trying to play it off, and most people are not looking at you. Actually, most people are looking just at Cookie, like just following that. So you have an element of stealth here. If you'd like to try and maneuver in front of Cookie, or just kind of follow them, up to you. You guys would like to do.
Yeah. Zal would kind of dance over to where they're taking Cookie, and yeah, kind of step in front of them and ask, like, where are you taking my date?
The
What's the Wookiee noise for? Huh?
I think that.
Huh?
Yeah.
Why do I sound like Tim Allen?
I was gonna say it's a
It
little
sounds like
full
Tim Allen.
time. Yeah.
Millennial joke. God. Tim Allen. What's happened to him?
Oh.
Bring on Star Wars. He needs to be in Star Wars. Okay.
That is now Cookie in the bowels of the ship. More power. Oh,
More power. Oh, anybody that's younger has no idea what we're talking about. That's great. So
yeah, but my
yes,
dad will love that joke.
I'm glad. I'm glad somebody will get it. So yes, you approach Cookie. Cookie, you hear this and kind of look over and Zal's there. The bouncers look to you and they kind of like they kind of look at one another and they like raise their eyebrows and kind of you're dating that?
Could you just
When in
like puff up
two,
the
don't
chest?
judge it. Love is love.
No judgment here, babe, but that's a tall drink.
Oh, she is a tall drink. But we were about to start dancing and you're taking her out of here?
They'll kind of pause. They'll actually pause. They'll kind of look up to Cookie and kind of back to you. And the one who had approached Cookie will smile and kind of why don't you tell me what you're doing down there in the tunnels?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I would.
Wink
I would like
and like an arm around Zal.
to know.
Yeah. There's a reason her fur is a little matted.
They will kind of stare at you. They're kind of taken aback. Like,
This is Quigley in the back.
that's my GM face right now. That was great.
I mean, keep in mind the Wookiee is not wearing much. The Wookiee is only wearing like a leather apron and like the goggles on top of
Yeah.
the head that are kind of askew.
Mhm.
Other than that, not a whole lot going on as far as clothes go. It's easy access.
This just reminds me of the
What's the
holiday
rating again?
special.
Yeah, what's the Wookiee version of once you go Wookiee, you never go. Well, I'll have to workshop that.
You die.
Yes, workshop
that.
Yes. So as you do this, you kind of wrap your arm around Cookie and make the impression that this has been well planned and this is kind of a risque thing.
Cool.
They're just kind of not having it. They're kind of like
It's just like one claw through the hair on Zal.
they're not judging. They're far from people to judge, but they're still like I don't care. We don't care. We just need you to leave. Like we know what goes on down there. We just need you to go. We don't want no trouble right now. We got enough trouble. Go. Keep going. And they're going to continue to try and escort you out.
Cookie just looks down at Zal and kind of shrugs like,
I don't know if we're getting out. I'm like, well, we have a third partner and he's coming with us too. If this is the kind of establishment you're running here.
As like Quigley's already like kind of walking out, he hears that like.
Nope.
They'll kind of look back. They'll kind of be like, "You got a third?" and not having really not paying attention to Quigley.
Giant Wookiee wink.
Exactly. They'll kind of look back and
we could make it 4.
The one who has been speaking kind of he stutters over his words. He doesn't know what to say. He's more amused by this because he's never probably have seen a lot of Wookiees, and certainly not in this context. And it's he's gonna tell this one later when he's drunk. This is gonna be a good bouncing story later.
Yeah, remember how I said Cookie had never had a drink before?
Mhm.
Whatever the bartender mixed was a little on the stiff side, and Cookie is really feeling it. Might be 7.5 feet tall, but
no tolerance. Well, that's
no
good.
tolerance, 0.
At least it's gonna help you with the pain, whatever residual pain you have from being being shot at and all that stuff.
Cookie like starts to dance a little bit, getting in.
They will the main bouncer will kind of tell the other two to go find this other person. Go find them and close the door and close the floor, for God's sake. close it, for sakes. There's no God here. As they escort you out. So as they're doing this, they will never touch you at this point. They haven't touched you. They won't. But they're kind of it's that they're ushering you out, and they will get to it if it push comes to shove. But as you begin to emerge, Quigley, you're kind of in their area as well. You're walking out as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay. As you start to exit, there was a little tiny hallway that kind of bridged the gap between the dance hall and the main drag of where this is in the casino district. As you start to emerge, the neon lights, and the flashing, whirring sounds of gambling can be heard. It was dulled out from the music and the loud bass of this dancing place, but club. It becomes full in your ears as you kind of pass that barrier and get into the liveliness of the casino area. Think of Las Vegas. I mean, like, we've Las Vegas, Atlantic City, all that stuff. Um, Bright, flashy lights, lots of buzzing going on, lots of mechanical sounds, lots of laughter, calls, and that type of stuff. This is it. This is actually the boundary right into the casino level, or the casino, calling it casino level, play Sonic. Right into the casino area. This is on the eastern side of it. You kind of ended up a little bit in a semicircle swoop from where the brothel is, heading north, and are now entering the casino district. The Hut Palace is on the other side, is towards the west north. So, and I will provide a map at some point of this because I forgot to download one. But Quigley, as soon as you exit the casino area where you're at, you know that this looks familiar. You have been here before. Things have changed as you've. It's been several months since you, at least several months, if not longer. I don't remember how long you had personally said you had been away, but it has been long enough. Yeah, okay. That places change, but this. You know where you're at. And Zal, you would kind of, for a better reason that this is where you're at. Maybe not specifically this stretch of alleyway or this stretch of area, but where you are in the bigger scheme of things. Cookie, you have no idea where anything is unless you've been to Narshada before.
Cookie is in like just turbo geek mode over the sounds of the machines, and how does that one work, and like kind of has never been anywhere like this before. And
Yeah.
so Cookie is like downtown, New York Times Square tourist, like, ooh.
That is a very good description, because there is.
And a little drunk.
And a little drunk. A little tired, a little drunk. And there's lots of bright, flashy, fun noises.
Yeah, that drink is definitely helping the sore muscles and whatnot, though. So Cookie's feeling pretty good.
So Zal and Quigley, you kind of have a thing here. You know that security is tight in this area, and that possibly if people were looking for you, it has not been unheard of that huts will sell their information essentially. So they'll allow people, if the price is right, they'll allow and like kind of them to see the HoloNet as they do, to see their security surveillance as they do. That's not out of the realm of possibility. So you have that in mind. That is something that that's kind of in your for mind for this. And you have a giant Wookiee that's kind of drunk dancing around next to you.
Are there any of the machines being worked on? Is like a technician anywhere by? No.
No, not really right now. There's some droid
stick
units.
Their head and be like, what is he doing?
There is like a really bright spinny wheel thing that's kind of right outside. The building next door is actually a small casino. Think of like a small pachinko den or something where there's like a bright, flashy, spinny thing, and like you're welcome to check that out. It's really
Cookie
cool.
is heading straight for it.
That's it. Okay. So that is what you guys, Quigley and Zal, have.
Perfect.
Fuck.
Sal just looks over at Quigley and how do we disguise that? pointing at Cookie.
Do you have binders available?
Binders? For what?
Well, we could lead him through the casino district saying that we're bounty hunters and he's our bounty.
We are not pulling a Chewbacca. The Chewbacca maneuver.
No, I left the cuffs in my room, so we're out of that.
Right.
They might be a little small anyway.
It's true.
You don't know her
I
clients.
mean, our brothel catered to all
This is
types,
true.
so.
I rescind my comment.
Looking around, can he find anything that could kind of like he can hide, like hold underneath of his cloak, and then give Zhao the other end to make it look like he's being led as a bounty?
What do you mean? Like, what are you thinking? Like a rope or
like something more like metal, like the how God, what is it? I forget the movie, but they're leading somebody along by their binders, and they have like this metal kind of connecting rod. Like I guess it would be a rope, but it's made out of metal, with like
a metal rope.
with like
A chain?
Like a
with
chain?
with like, yeah, sure.
Can Cookie start placing bets?
You can start pushing buttons. Go right for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Go and give you. It'll be a mechanics roll. Just give me a mechanics roll. I'm sorry. It's going to be 2 purple. You have things to indicate that, don't you?
That's my crowning achievement for this week.
That is going to be 1 success, 3 advantages.
Okay, so as you go over to this wonderful spinning kind of rainbowy like thing that's spinning around, and there's like flashy things going off, and it's saying it's flashing win. You started to play with it. You start to hit the buttons, and as you hit one of the buttons, it kind of does a demo of what it will do, like if you actually put credits in. And there's a kind of a flashing cascade of multicolored orbs that kind of plinko down. You think of the Price is Right plinko, like all that. And it's really pretty, and little music starts to play, and there's a little holographic little scantily clad dancer that'll like pop up and just kind of start to dance, and like you're winning.
Cookie like starts mimicking the dance, just like not all the way out, but like like when you're dancing in your car and you like don't want anybody to see. Yeah.
Yes. There are some looks as passersby, as people just kind of like look over and
better hips than you might expect on a Wookiee.
We accept that. And maybe there is even one raised eyebrow passerby going, yeah, I'm okay with it. I am interested. But yes, Quigley, give me a perception checks for your metal rope. 2 purple. What'd you do?
I got 2 failure.
Okay, no.
Too distracted by the dancing Wookiee. Can't handle this.
I won't make you roll a cool check because there's no help for that. So I love you.
Hey,
I love you. Don't worry.
no, it's accurate. It's fine.
For Cookie, you do not find a chain. You do not find anything that could look like that you could kind of fake, being held captive. However, you do find what looks to be like maybe an old poncho, or like maybe an old sort of like cloak of some sort, kind of rummaging through the immediate kind of garbage area over to the side. There is a large kind of tarp like thing that maybe you could use to at least cover one of yourselves, or kind of shield yourself from possible surveillance cameras that are probably above you. Cookie, you're still dancing.
Cookie's
Rodian.
has kind of turned around to like look for their companions. And
Okay.
like, look, guys, I figured it out. Like, where is everybody?
A Rhodian will come up to you, Cookie, and kind of be like, you're trying to play? You're trying to play?
Cookie doesn't really answer, just kind of like looks around for Quigley and Zal.
Okay. The Rhodian will be like, you have to have credit. You have to have credit. Come inside, get credit. Come inside, get credit.
Do I see Zal and Quigley, or are they kind of out of my line of sight?
Where are you guys?
I'm
Quigley, you
standing outside, and I just flip open like this this poncho over Zal, like a glove.
Are you offended by the way I look? I blend in more than you do.
It's to hide your face from the cameras that are above us. You know,
Why would
since
they-
you're affiliated with our friends.
Smells like garbage.
Oh, that's because I got it out of the garbage.
Where's Cookie?
You can-
Quigley will lean his head into the little alcove. Like, hey, too tall and furry, get the hell out here.
Yeah, Cookie, you would not have seen them at first, but Quigley will call to you.
Okay, yeah, when I see, I was just about to follow the Rhodian into the casino when I see Quigley, and then
Oh, thank God.
it's
They were
like,
so
oh,
dressed.
it's like, well, I mean, but oh no, I gotta go with my friends. And
The Rhodian will begin to follow you. The Rhodian will kind of begin to follow you, but then something else will, like, somebody will call something, and he'll be like, yeah, credit, you want to play, and we'll maneuver over to another customer. So yes, you have pulled Cookie over, and now Zal has the poncho, the trash poncho. Trash poncho.
Cookie kind of takes a look at this and sees like the poncho. Has Quigley done anything to try and like obscure him? Did he get changed in the club?
I don't believe
No.
you had a chance to.
Didn't
What you
like
doing?
steal a coat or anything?
I wish. If there was someone like super drunk walking by, he'll just kind of like try to yank their clothes.
Is anybody
off of
passed out in the alley?
Give me a perception check.
them. I want to do that.
You can wear this poncho.
I got 4
Try.
successes and 2 threat.
There's somebody laying in the alleyway.
Like, 1 second. Come back out completely dressed completely differently.
Do you just take it and don't care if they wake up or anything? Or are you trying to do it stealthily?
He will gingerly like try to slip it off of them.
So you're trying to keep them asleep? You're trying not to rouse them. Okay, give me a stealth. They are drunk though. It can't be bad, right?
All right, what's my negative?
2 purple, 1 black.
All right. Sorry, I forgot where I put my my dice rollers. I got a triumph.
What? You get triumphs at the weirdest skill checks.
Like,
You-
and it's I will fail miserably the rest of the stupid session. Like,
Important rolls, no.
make a planetary
I'm
roll.
dressed in a guy.
Sorry.
But to steal this
That's his
guy's
specialty. Yeah.
to steal this guy's jacket, the camera zooms in on you as you like finesse this thing. This is like removing a tablecloth from like a fully, catered table. You're able to do it. The guy was pretty drunk. And as you kind of roll him a little bit, he just goes. He's actually kind of reptilian in features. He has stalked eyes that are both closed. And as you move him, the smell of just kind of stank and alcohol leak out as you hear glass containers kind of falling out or moving. You are able to get his jacket. You're able to get this person's jacket. without them being none the wiser. And because of your triumph, as you start to exit the alleyway, you manage to kind of look over to the side, and behind a large crate that had you wouldn't have been able to see it unless you came down the alleyway. You do see kind of a coiled link of what looks just to be generic chain. It's nothing. It might have belonged to some sort of speeder bike like hookup, like where you lock it or something. But it's small, but enough to probably get around your wrists and for a little lead.
All right. He will motion Zal over, hand her the jacket, and like swap out the poncho, and wrap the chain around his hands and hand her the lead. Like, and if we get stopped, you're taking me to Gracchus.
And the Wookiee?
He's your
As
partner.
all this is as all this is going on, Cookie takes the goggles off the top of their head and just takes the blacksmith apron off, unties it, and rolls it all up and sticks it in the satchel. So now just like Wookie, satchel over the shoulder, still has the bowcaster slung behind, but then takes the disruptor pistol off of the belt and puts that in the bag as well. And so it's just kind of like, could be any other Wookiee. Like, can you tell us apart?
I can. No, I don't know. You don't know. You don't know if they'll be able to tell you apart. Yep.
And
that
then
is.
pulls the bowcaster around front and has overheard the conversation that they just had about the kind of gets what's going on. Like, okay.
How many Wookiees has Zal seen on this moon?
Maybe one.
So, okay. I guess she's just gonna like voice to Quigley and Cookie that if they're looking for a Wookiee, they're gonna stop any Wookiee that they see.
All he has to do is literally tell him he's a bounty hunter. That's probably 75% of the revenue that comes off of this planet.
How many credits do you have on you?
Me? He gave most of them a bit.
I know you did.
He has like 150.
Okay, she'll basically tell you to empty your pockets. You're a prisoner.
This is.
Does Cookie laugh?
Yeah. Cookie is chuckling in the background. It hurts a little bit.
He'll give her the credits.
That wasn't too hard. Perfect. So who are we going to say that we're taking you to?
If we're stopped, only Gracchus.
I shouldn't shout the name. Gracchus. Let's go.
What, Alex, how high are these buildings around us? What's the landscape of these structures like?
So this is there are some skyscrapers here. Yeah, they're very close together. This is it's much like Coruscant, where it's the entire planet is a cityscape, or the entire moon is a cityscape. There's very little. There's no nature here. I mean, anything that is natural here has been brought in and is like for decoration or for decorum. The buildings are very close together. This is. There's some alleyways, like if you've seen, and there's even in the well-lit districts that you're in now, there are certainly plenty of darkened, kind of niche places that remind you that you are not on an up and up casino level. Like you're not on, oh man, sorry. Oh god, what was that planet name? Oh god, the casino. No, in episode 8.
Oh god, I can't even remember.
Quentin Tarantino. No, I was kidding. Canto Bite. There we go. Canto Bite. There we go. Star Wars. Nothing like that. Where that is kind of like highfalutin. That's high end casino. That's like ups on the up and up casino. That's like legal. Nar Shaddaa is not that. Nar Shaddaa is Tijuana. The backwoods, kind of casino.
Cookie has an idea.
Okay.
Does it look like it would be feasible for Cookie to climb up onto the roof and follow them that way?
You think that you would probably be able to scale it. But is this something that you would just start to do, or would you discuss
No,
it?
I would suggest it because I don't know the
Mm,
route. I don't know which way we're going. I don't know the planet. Like I don't know what the surveillance above the street level is like. So I
mhm,
would definitely ask
Okay.
Quigley or like suggest it
Mhm.
because I
So,
am the only Wookiee we've seen all day.
mhm, yeah. Yep, yep,
I
yep.
mean,
Mhm.
you think you can stealth your way up there and keep out of the sight, then go for it.
Might just thought, isn't there probably like security drones just like flying above the building?
Probably.
Oh, they're everywhere.
Probably not the
Yeah.
best.
So Wookiee on the roof of a building,
It'll
jumping across gaps.
be fine. No. And starts to tip over backwards a little bit and then stands back up.
Yeah.
It would be a
And
long.
I think
Sense.
Yeah.
Quigley's idea might be a little bit better tonight, Cookie.
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't know how often that happens. I don't know him, but
I can tell you barely ever. I'm just kidding. I love you, Daniel.
Coming from the woman who just robbed me.
you handed them to me.
All right,
Yeah,
let's go.
she'll hand the chain to Cookie.
That's extortion, not robbery.
Quigley.
Welcome to Nar Shaddaa.
Very much so. Quigley, give me, like I said, you kind of are a little bit special in that you have passed here. Give me your underworld. Give me your underworld.
Underworld's based off of cunning, right?
Intelligence. That Streetwise was cunning. Sorry. It's going to be 2 purple.
Three threat.
3 threat. Excellent. Yes. Okay.
Where's the try?
So you're fairly certain that you you think you can make it. You think that you might be able to make it all the way through this casino district to get to the safe house where you sent Bit and Jen ahead of you. There is a portion of like your memory. You're trying to remember if there's anybody who could help you, like anybody who might be able to that you've worked with or that would still be here, that might be able to at least give you a jacket or something that you'd be able to help navigate through this district. There's a couple people that come to your mind, but one specifically, this person would have worked with you. They are also a sniper. They are also have been in combat that you have been in combat with as well. They have been a person that you have worked with at least for several jobs in the past. You only remember their first name though, and kind of what they look like. And that's because you both have tried to keep your identities secret from one another as much as possible. You don't really know this person's background. Their name is Kay. They are human, and you know that a common job in Nar Shaddaa is to be security, but not a bouncer type of security, not what you just saw escorting Cookie out, but working up high, working from a vantage point. What huts will, and specifically huts do this, but also part of the Black Sun, they'll do this. They'll plant somebody up high in one of the either the 5th level or on a tower or somewhere, to just watch with a sniper rifle, watching entrances and back doors, and if they get a call to shoot somebody that's trying to run out, they'll just take the shot and that's it. Clean it up, that's it. And that was the last job that they had that you're aware of, but that is like something that's sticking out of your mind as being a potential, if it goes south, we could try and go there, or we could try and look them up. That was just trying to get a sense of what you could grasp onto while you're trying to make your way through here, but you're not sure if that's needed. You think you might be able to make it through this area.
All right.
So what's your game plan? Are you going to kind of just duck, just run, just duck into places? What is your game plan? Where are you guys going?
Well, he's being led right now,
Mm-hmm.
all chained up by Cookie and Zal. So,
Cookie would be behind Quigley with the bowcaster like in his back,
Mm-hmm.
but cocked, but with the safety on.
Okay.
Specifically with the safety on.
Safety on. Safety on.
Quigley's gonna like give Cookie a look like, really? Did you have to have him come back?
Is Quigley injured at all?
Quigley, are you injured?
Where are my notes? I am injured, actually. I have 3 wounds.
How's your face look?
It looks real. Well, because Quigley has. I don't think I've ever actually described to you what Quigley looks like.
No.
So
Tell us.
Quigley is a gank, and so therefore he's covered by mainly cybernetic like plant implants, and so he has like a helmet on with a faceplate where you can't see his actual face. His arms, from the shoulder, like he has like yellow pauldrons, and then like super buff bicep, and then mechanical arm from there on down on both arms, and then like this high tech like looking torso piece, and then just like regular kind of looking pants, and then greaves from knee down, and he's got like, from what you would see, like just random ammo holsters all over him. But yeah, his helmet's kind of scratched up. Like his whole faceplate's all kind of looks like it's had a bad case of road rash because he almost fell off the speeder a few times.
Oh yeah. Okay. I don't need to make it look like you're injured. You're fine.
Oh, thanks. I'm glad to know
You
that's
did
where
it
that was
yourself.
going.
You're not even
I
sure,
mean-
Zal, if your stem pack would work on him. You're not quite sure. This guy is definitely
Like,
more machine than man.
I don't know where to put this.
That's what she said.
In the big beefy bicep, I would imagine. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does have fucking freakishly large biceps.
nobody cared who I was until I put on the mask.
All right.
Love it.
So Zal, you're leading Quigley ahead of you, and Cookie is behind you.
Cookie gives like a playful shove into Quigley's back just a little bit with the bowcaster.
He's kind of like turning
COVID.
to
Yeah.
glare back.
Cookie chuckles. They're enjoying this a little too much.
Who is leading who? Who is kind of dictating what road you're taking, or what alleys you're turning down or not turning down? Who's kind of leading it? Is it you, Quigley?
He will he'll be like mutter it to Zal, who is in the front, like with the lead of the chain.
Okay. We're
By
gonna
the way,
do.
he gave Cookie his sniper rifle because that's too big to hide underneath the poncho, but he does have his blaster on him still, his secondary blaster.
Okay. So Cookie, you have Quigley's sniper rifle at this
I'd
point.
have that slung over the shoulder.
Okay. And you have your blaster pistol
The
at least.
bowcaster. Yeah.
You got your bowcaster. Okay. You guys are all going to give me a stealth roll.
Stealth.
It's going to be 2 purple, 1 black, and 1 red.
I am not stealthy. Ooh, 2 threats here.
1.
2 threats.
Yep.
Okay.
I got 1 success, 2 threats.
I got 1 success.
Okay. So as it was kind of expected, there is not much eye gaze at Quigley and Sam. Most people are not really paying attention to them. That's honestly, that's like, oh, that's normal. That's fine. Somebody being led in handcuffs, that's fine. Whatever. Scantily clad woman, hey, okay. Whatever.
What about the scantily clad Wookiee? Oh, okay. That draws some
Exactly.
eyes.
That draws some eyes, and not overtly so, but it definitely, as you walk by bars that are open air and other casinos that are open air, anybody that's kind of just people watching, as soon as they see Cookie, they're kind of just watching them as they walk. And you begin to Quigley and Zal and Cookie, you kind of all feel slash not feel that you're being watched, or that there's definitely eyes on you, and that if you feel that there are eyes on you, then that probably means that there are eyes that you don't see that are on you as well. Do you continue on?
Is there anyone that's just like being super blatant that they're just staring at us, probably a little drunk?
Yeah, definitely. There's somebody just kind of hanging out outside, maybe smoking something, and it's just watching you.
Yeah. So Zal just kind of takes on this whole different persona. Just sort of walks slightly with a limp, kind of her face just like the smile that she normally has is just like wiped clean, and her brow just kind of like drops, so she looks way more serious. And she'll pull out her pistol and just like point it at that guy, and just like in this deeper voice just ask him like, what are you looking at?
He'll kind of just look at you, look at the pistol. His eyes are a little wide, but he's also a little drunk as he takes another takes another drag of the death stick that he's smoking, and is just like, babe, I'm not looking at you, I'm looking at that 50 million behind you. He's gonna look at Cookie.
So you're gonna look at her, and you're gonna pay credits, or else get back to your drink.
You're too expensive for me, babe. He's gonna just kind of laugh. I'd be real careful though. Your friend is gonna be even more expensive if they get caught. And he's just gonna kind of like raise his hands and flick his dead death stick to the side on the road, and just kind of be like, have a good night, babe.
Babe.
Oh God, I hate him. What?
Like the hackles on the back of the Wookiee neck are like standing up just a little bit.
So as you kind of stand there, the guy walks off, goes back to whatever hell he's doing.
What did he mean by 50 million?
That is a good question.
My guess is that they're gonna want to try and sell you. There's not many Wookiees on this planet, Cookie.
Any Wookiee, or specifically me? Do we have a bounty on our heads?
Any Wookiee.
I don't know. What are you doing before you came here?
They can try. Cookie kind of like plucks him, stands up a little
Mm.
straighter, like.
Stop looking so happy.
Shush, I'm worth 50 million. Little swagger in the step.
Like, stop that. Yeah, she'll like come up to Cookie and just be like, you need to growl at anyone that looks at you funny. You need to,
Alex,
I
is
don't
there
know.
anybody like immediately nearby that seems like they might be wanting to like try their luck with us? Or is it just mostly just drunk people?
It's a lot of drunk people. There's nobody right now that looks that you can see that's like actively being aggressive towards you. Most people are looking. There is some talk though. There's also some like, kind of hush whispers between people as, maybe somebody will tap another person on the back and go,
We should probably get moving. She
Yeah.
like shoves Quigley in the back again. Walk.
Roar at somebody. Please.
As I'm walking, I know
She growls at Zal.
there's usually like wanted boards and everything kind of posted up, and seeing how massively Quigley fucked over the hut he was working for. Is his face anywhere on them?
Alrighty. This is
That
fun.
would have been good info to know.
This is fun. All right, so I don't need you guys to give me perception check, or at least I don't need Quigley to give me a perception check. This is what you see, Quigley. If you guys would stop at some point, Quigley has obviously stopped and is looking at something. So if you guys would stop and look at it, I assume you would, then you're going to see this as well. Quigley, that you know where the bounty boards are essentially, and they're kind of hidden in the casino area, the casino district. Of course, they would be in a lot of bars that are frequented by bounty hunters, but just kind of out in the open, that's a little tacky, and the Tuts really don't want to be tacky. They do. But where kind of a bounty board would be. And when you look at it, you first see kind of exclamation mark. So what the common galactic news, or not, the flash of exclamation showing that there is a very large bounty that is being offered right now. And as you stare at it, the hologram of facial recognition, the hologram of 3D face will spin, and it will first show Red, the Rhodian, with a large X over him as that picture gets kind of pushed to the top right hand corner. The next picture would be of Noah as his head and image spin around. A large X is through him, moved over to the right hand corner. The next face would be Blondie's face, spun around, large X over hers as that moves to the right hand side.
They found her?
The next face that will appear will be very familiar to you because it's yours. Yours, Quigley. As you see your gank mask spin around kind of a couple times, showing off all the details that they have, as well as some still images of you, specifically of you leaving the ship, of you leaving the hangar bay. And that would, of course, not have an X on it as it moves to the left-hand side, as the figure of 5 million credits appears below you.
Only 5 million. I've done so much worse shit.
Next, of course, will be Cookie. Their image and their face would spin 3D representation of it. They do not get an X as well, as a total of 5 million goes beneath theirs. Move over to the left-hand side next to Quigley. The next image would be of
I'm bigger. I should totally be worth more.
the next image would be of Bit. The
Watch your
her
mouth.
small Twi'lek face, precious innocence, and purple. We said she was purple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Her image spins around
Like
and goes over to the left-hand side with Nova.
quickly, Daniels falls over.
Yeah.
Cookie gets him like under the armpit and like holds him up.
There is nothing yet. That will be where it ends. There is 3 that are X'd off and 3 that have not been captured. The total bounty, though, for everyone alive is, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to have to explain, 50,000 Nova crystals. Nova crystals are, as what we remember from episode 1 and Tatooine, Republic credits don't work out here. Imperial credits work not that well out here. Nova crystals are something kind of far beyond the hard currency that the Galactic Empire and the Galactic Republic have used. Nova crystals are mined almost exclusively in rare, very heavily guarded districts and in wild space. Their value is astronomical compared to what the Imperial and Republic credits are based off of. So they're not based off of silver, it's not based off of copper or gold or anything like that. Nova crystals are just a resource. The total amount for you of your group alive is 50,000 Nova crystals. This brings the total of Republic of Imperial credits to close to 1 billion credits. That is for all of you alive.
Quigley just kind of goes. I haven't seen a bounty that high in a long, long time.
Probably ever.
The hell did you guys do?
We killed a lot of people.
Cookie's the barrel of Cookie's bowcaster is just ever so subtly drifting towards Zal. Just in case she's the only one that didn't show up on that board, she might be getting some ideas.
It's like you were reading my mind. Oh man. Sal is gonna look at you, Cookie, and whisper, "Turn around and fall to your knees when I hit you."
Cookie just chuckles a little bit.
Quigley's gonna
Quigley
like
is
peer
the
over
one
and
that
like,
should be the prisoner.
just play along.
Cookie looks at Zal and just kind of gives the very flat stare. Don't pretend to hit me.
Hit me how you can. I don't want Tyler Durden to be a Wookiee.
Don't pretend to hit you.
Don't pretend. It has to
him.
look good.
Her.
Yeah. Zal's gonna make a suit. She's just like gonna like curse loudly and say, "I should have known," and she'll shoot Cookie in the leg.
Oh, in that case, then yeah, Cookie's gonna turn around and like fall to
Quigley's
a knee.
gonna like pull the. What?
She said, "Don't pretend."
Dude shot her.
All right. Did you just unload a shot into Cookie's poor little legsy? That poor hairy little legsy? At point blank range? You can. No, that's fine. Go for it.
He said hit, not shoot.
All right, let's do
true.
this. It's done. We're rolling with it. Let's go.
I can't take it back.
Let's do this.
All right,
Yeah.
if that's the way you want to go with this.
Everybody
you
queue
get
up your initiative dice.
yeah. So yes. So as you fire that shot, you're of course I'm guessing you're aiming for not a serious part of the leg.
No.
You're trying to aim maybe for like, I don't know, a meaty part that's not bad. I don't know.
Like in
Wookiee
the thigh,
physiology.
basically.
Yeah, like something that that
Yeah.
they could take and maybe not be. It still is going to hurt. Cookie, Cookie.
You remember that the Wookiee is holding a cocked and loaded bowcaster, right?
On safety.
On safety.
Which is like a flick of the thumb, and then
You might
center
shoot
mass.
Quigley.
No, I said like the barrel was already traveling over to Zal because Cookie
Alright.
does not trust Zal.
So,
All right.
My
so-
goal is to put you in chains so that we can get through here.
So
Complete my bounty hunter look.
okay, so because you kind of have aimed this and not to damage thing, I'm not going to do full damage on the pistol, which I believe is 7. I believe a blaster pistol 7, depending on how much you succeed. We're going to say that it's a straight 4. So Cookie, you have some soak, I think. You
Right.
reduce the soak, take the 4, or take whatever is left after the soak, and that is where on whatever leg you would like to. But more importantly, there was a blaster fire that just went off. And that certainly gets the attention of a lot of people. And more importantly, it gets the attention of security, because although this is a crime world, they don't want a lot of blaster fire outside of their casinos disturbing their patrons. So I need you guys to roll some cool, because this is going to be a little bit of impromptu. Let's get you guys out of here. So give me your straight cool roll. It's based off of presence. There is no challenge dice in this.
guys,
2 advantages for Cookie.
I'm not cool at all.
1 success, 1 advantage.
Cookie is seriously considering shooting Zal in the chest. But holds their fire for just a second.
I got 1
Thus
advantage.
ends that.
I'm just letting everybody know.
1 advantage. Okay.
But the like Cookie definitely clicks the safety off.
Okay. All right. So we have 1 advantage from Quigley. Cookie, what did you get on your cool?
2 advantages.
2 advantages. Okay.
That's
And
why
Zal.
Zal didn't get shot.
1 success, 1 advantage.
1 success, 1 advantage. Okay, Zal, you're first. All right. So as this blaster goes off, and Cookie, how would Cookie react after getting shot, but knowing that they're about to get shot? How do they react? It's, ah!
Well, so Zal said hit. Cookie
And then
thought
shot
like
him.
this girl is gonna punch me. Okay, you might not want to pull that punch and actually make it look good. And then Zal pulls out a blaster and shoots Cookie in the leg. Cookie's
I can't reach your face.
Cookie's
This is the
soak
best.
value is 4. So Cookie takes no damage from this
Okay.
shot. It's just now you have a really, really pissed off Wookiee glaring at you. You hear the safety click off on the bowcaster and the barrel raises like just a little bit towards you before Cookie notices the commotion and just like pauses. But it's like a taut bowstring, and I think would this technically Cookie is still technically wounded.
Mhm.
So would my Wookiee rage still apply?
If you wanted to, yeah.
So that's like kind of holding in the background, kind of like ready to unleash at whatever is actually the threat. Cookie's gonna choose to trust Zal for like the moment, but if
Okay.
shit goes down, friendly
Wookiee
fire
rage.
could be
Yeah.
a thing. Yeah.
Okay. And that is does Cookie do they roar
I'd say
out,
they'll,
or
like,
they
Yeah, roar and like go down to one knee, like the knee
Okay.
the leg that got hit.
okay.
go
Alright.
down
The
onto
other
that
leg.
knee, and then like the bowcaster leg kind of starts to come up a little bit.
Okay. Quigley.
Yes.
Quigley. You, as this happens, as you hear Cookie kind of roar and then fall to the knee, into their knee, you start to have a lot of bad feelings of this. This is your sniper sense is kind of going off. You're feeling as if hundreds of little, blaster hairs are being slowly like pinned back on you guys. That you this commotion has certainly startled everyone in the area. And as the seconds kind of tick by, you notice people turning around and pulling out their data pads and pulling out, various electronic equipments. Of course, we have cell phones, but imagine that Star Wars has something similar to that, where they're pulling things out and are looking and are beginning to, take pictures and, beginning to kind of understand what's happening. And you all hear it from a distant, or from a bar that's a little bit ahead of you to the right. That's them. That kind of rings out above all the clutter of kind of everybody saying, "What is that going on?" That's them. And at that, Quigley, Quigley. You're going to, let's see, give me one perception check. It's going to be 3 purple die, 1 black, and 1 red. We're going to add. I'm using a dark side die. Using a dark side die. I'm going to add a red die because I want there to be some danger here. You get a light side. You can have a light side.
One success.
1 success. Excellent. Okay. So you notice it first. It's a quick glint. It's from about 3 stories up. It's on. So if you're standing down an alleyway, it's going to be on your right hand side, about 3 stories up. It's the quickest glint you've ever seen, but you know what it is. It is a sniper, and they have just refocused on all of you. You have the chance to say something. Zal will go first, however, but you do have a chance to let her know if you want to.
There's a sniper, and he'll like while he's trying to not give it like fully away that he's seen him, he'll be like, "There's a sniper, 3rd floor up, 6 o'clock."
Zal will just sort of give this small nod, not even a nod, just like a blink of understanding. And she's going to try and get Cookie's bowcaster and just like shout that this is my bounty. If anyone steps close, the next shot's going into you.
All right, and you call this out kind of to anybody in the area?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like hearing those voices say that's them, like she's trying to make it seem like she has this under control and she's going to turn in this bounty.
Cool. Give me a cool test. 2 purple, 1 black, 1 red.
Oh gosh.
There's a stake here. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for smugglers. It's a lot of money for anybody. It's a lot of money for the Empire.
How does the light side work? Can I do that?
Yeah.
You can use it if you
can
want.
totally do it. So a light side will turn one of your green dice into a yellow dice. So if you have 1 pip, so if you your usual roll is 2 green die, 1 yellow, and you use a light side, it would be 1 green die, 2 yellow.
Oh,
Yes. Or I am allowing a reroll. I will also take, if you wanted to reroll any roll, you have to take the second roll, obviously. I'll do that as well.
I don't know if this is good. 2 successes, 2 threats.
Okay. So as you call that out, like it's mine. This bounty's mine. You're looking around and people are not quite moving to do anything, at least on the ground level yet. But 5 seconds pass, and it's a very long 5 seconds for you. You don't know the mood. The entire mood is changing around you, as people start to realize, as people start to like look over to whatever bounty board that you just were looking at, and to looking at their phones, and to see, at least seeing the Wookiee, which is kind of the main flag for anybody that is thinking about bounties or related to bounty hunting. That is the face that people know right now. And in those 5 seconds, you Quigley begin to realize that this is not going to be as easy as you thought of getting through this district. If this is, you've only gone maybe a quarter of a mile in, not even that. You're probably a couple blocks in, really. And this is where, this is how far you've gotten before there's been an issue. And after that 5 seconds, a blaster shot comes screaming out of that window that you pointed to, Quigley, and lands, misses its target, behind Cookie's head.
Quigley's just gonna like stay still, kind of peering out over his shoulder and be like, fucking rookie.
It's that stormtrooper shit, dude. Got those
He's
blasters.
like, Zal, if you don't have any idea
When
or any
that-
plan on what we're doing, now's a good time to do it.
Cookie would not sit still when the blaster shot hits,
Okay.
and as a matter of fact, would probably Cookie's opinion right now is like, okay, that plan didn't work, run, and
Okay.
is going to stand up because no damage to that leg, and unsling Quigley's sniper rifle and literally like throw it at him,
Okay.
and then
As
return.
as the sniper rifle's coming, Quigley just kind of sighs and he like quite literally just like throws off this dirty ass poncho, grabs the sniper rifle, and it's like just as he like clicks a button on the side, like the barrel like extends on it, like
Like a 360 spin with like the cloak coming off and
Right.
everything.
Oh,
Like full
definitely.
anime style.
So you have your sniper rifle. Are you going to start moving, Cookie, or are you going to?
I was gonna return the shot back at the window that it came out of if I
Okay.
saw which way it came from.
All right. Quigley kind of is the one who definitely knows where it is. You have a kind of guess of where it came from. You kind of know the direction. It was up in, this area type thing, but you don't know where the shot specifically came from. Quigley does. Zal, things are moving very quickly. Cookie has given Quigley back their sniper rifle. It does not look like the sniper really cared if it was your bounty or not. Or at least they wanted to shoot you. Wanted to shoot Cookie.
So just for preference of what Quigley is doing while Cookie is lining up their shot, Quigley is scanning the crowd with the sniper rifle on anybody that is walking towards them and the area above. So
Give me a
area
perception check.
they're about to run into.
Yes. 2 purple.
All
Not going to be
right.
difficult.
Whoa, hold on, let me re-roll that because I forgot to take off the red and I got despair. 1 success,
No
3 advantage.
despair.
All right. So as you scan the crowd with your sniper rifle with the scope, there's movement. It's really kind of hard to focus. You see with through your sniper that people are moving towards their waistbands, that people are like actively trying to get something, or actively trying to wrangle somebody up to maybe be aggressive towards you. As soon as people start to realize what's happening, who this is, it's kind of you're getting the sense of a free-for-all. You're getting a sense that you are in the smuggler moon of Nar Shaddaa, and you have the largest bounty on your head that you possibly have ever seen in your life. So that's the hit home with you, that if people recognize you, this is what's probably going to happen. So yes, you do see people getting their getting their pistols and their blasters ready, as they are kind of tripping over one another to get to doors, to get to windows, to get to you, all of you, the three of you, closer to get a shot on you. Zal, um, you see the commotion as well. You know that Nar Shaddaa is a law can be a very lawless place, um, and that your interactions with the Black Sun, uh, money rules all here. Money, specifically non-credits, like real resource money. Um, it rules here. If you have it, you can control anything. You can have anything you want. Um, and it is, if you're willing, if the motto here is like, if you're willing to do whatever it takes, you're gonna get rich. Like you just have to have no morals. Do anything to get it. And that is your interpretation here, and that is what is driving home for you. You know that even if you were to say you had, if you were the best bounty hunter and you were leading them in, that right now that's kind of out the window. That there is, yeah, that this is too high of a stake. This is a lot of money. This is a lot of gosh darn money. This is, you know, the military budget, the partial military budget of the empire. Like 1 billion credits, like is a lot of, that's a lot of chunk. That's a lot of change. And Cookie, you're in pain. Cookie, you are leveling. Did you wanted to try and puff
Full
a shot?
Wookiee rage. Yeah.
Okay.
Just if there's a window that, because it was coming from in front of me from up above, right?
Yes, it was to
And
your
hit
upper
behind
right.
me. So I would have kind of a general direction of where the shot came from,
Yes.
and whichever window looks the most likely,
Mhm.
especially if I could see a silhouette or a glint of a blaster or something like that, that's the window I'm shooting at, whether it's the right one or not.
Okay. You see, what you're able to kind of gather immediately is that one of the windows that you can from that area is slightly ajar. That's all that you can see from your vantage point.
That's the one I'm shooting for.
All right, you can shoot her. Give me a shooty. Give me a shooty. Give me a shooty. Give me a range, not a melee, which is what I kept saying last time. Give me your straight range.
Okay.
It's going to be 2. It's going to be 2 purple. Sorry.
2 purple. That's 3 successes, 1 threat.
Excellent. Cool. So you definitely hit that window. You definitely hit probably the entity being behind that window.
And the
But
bowcaster does have that knockdown feat.
it does have that knockdown. So the grating on the window that was slightly ajar suddenly bends in. It suddenly caves in with the pressure and the thud of this crossbow laser bolt as it hits something on the other side, but you're not sure what and to what extent. Quigley and Zal, you see the shot. You see Cookie take aim with their bowcaster and fire this shot. It's loud. So now we have 2 shots that have been fired. Quigley and Zal, that at this point, if there are multiple blaster fire, if things are happening, security will come. Like there is a hut in hut enforced hut enforced bouncers and security in the casino area. So and people are only getting more worked up. You start hearing more voices going, it's them, it's them.
Cookie just screams, run.
Okay.
And
Run.
shove Quigley.
Okay.
I
Are
swear,
there any
like,
doorways?
There are plenty of doorways lining this hall, lining this street, this boulevard. It's a long street. Think of like the main drag of Las Vegas or something akin to that. There are multiple doorways and entries to multiple different casinos, bars, and dance palaces, kind of around. You have your choice of any.
Yeah. So Zal doesn't understand what Cookie is saying right now.
Nobody does. It's fine.
Nobody does.
It's just
so
Wookiee rage right now.
It's just Wookiee rage. She'll just say like, "We need to get off the street now." And whatever doorway is closest, she will. Like Cookie pushes Quigley one way, Zal's trying to push him the other way.
he's like trying to keep us steady.
Yeah. And because of that, another shot goes off. I'm
From
using a
me?
dark side point. Yes. Oh no. Another one of your shots from your rifle, Quigley. In the commotion of being pulled back and forth, I'm using a dark side point. This happened. You get a light side point. You fire your sniper rifle. It just is a shot. It just goes off into the air.
Into the
Nothing.
crowd.
Yeah,
I see.
exactly.
That's crazy. It's like, sometimes that happens. Sometimes.
It happens to everybody.
It
every
happens to
once in a while.
everyone. It happens. We love
It's
you.
normal.
It is. Okay. So as the shot is fired off into the air, off into kind of the skyline, it does it does hit a rather large marquee of a hut that was a LED advertisement or
Oh, I
something
was
with
gonna say,
one of the
I thought
no,
like
not really a hut.
huts were. I was like, oh no, we all
You
fucked
done
up.
killed. Yeah.
Is it an advertisement of the hut
Yes.
that Quigley screwed over before?
Yes, it is. It absolutely is. That's my dark side point for that. As it, you hit it, point blank, or not point, but you hit it right in the middle. As it sparks, as the sparks come like wafting down onto the street level where you are, as this whole kind of like LED bullet advertisement kind of slowly begins to pull forward. Um, Quigley, Zal, Cookie, you see this as other people start to see this as this large, glowing, or once glowing, kind of frazzled, now sparking LED board slowly begin to topple over the building and towards the street level. Um, Cookie has screamed to run. Zal, you are trying to make your way, you said, into a nearby entryway or a nearby door, right?
Hmm.
The nearest thing on your left-hand side is a bar. It was open air, so there's some people kind of sitting about. But they have now vacated the outdoor seating and are moving either are running away from you, or they are moving towards a better location to take aim at you. Um, the board that Quigley has shot is now falling. You're welcome to move into that doorway, but you are moving into rapidly arming people.
Nothing looks good. Yeah, she'll follow Cookie, but she is going to pull out a frag grenade,
Okay, cool.
not throwing it yet, but just kind of like raises it up and just like, okay, let's run now.
As we're running, following Cookie, Quigley's
Oh, I
gonna
was
kind of
following Quigley.
oh.
I don't know where I'm
We're
going.
just
All
going
right,
in
fine.
circles.
Quigley is leading, and he's heading as the board is falling. He's running into the crowd where the board is falling. So whoever was behind them in this instance, the board is going to fall and cut them off from pursuing them. So they only have to worry about the people in front of them, which hopefully are distracted by both the sparks, the crashing LED board, and a woman running by holding a grenade in the air.
And don't forget the screaming Wookiee.
And a screaming Wookiee.
Excellent. That is a great image. And you can do that. That's a-okay. You guys are making a full kind of retreat. So you get past the board as the board cinematically falls and kind of gives a barricade to blaster fire. It was only a matter of time before somebody at least would try and take a shot. But within seconds of that board falling, you hear the blaster fire behind you. Quigley, you said you are kind of in the front and you're kind of leading them.
Yeah.
You're using a lot of your memory. This is kind of going back into your past. You haven't had to run through Nar Shaddaa in a really long time for your life. You have had to do it. You've had to do it, but it hasn't been recently. And this is kind of a kick in those memory fields. This doesn't feel that great, but you are kind of don't even need to look where you're going. It's muscle memory at this point for you. But for these other two, I need you guys to give me agility. I want just a base agility. There's going to be no challenge to this. I just want your base agility.
Two success, one advantage.
Okay.
Sorry, do you just roll the amount of green
Yes.
for the number? Okay.
Yes.
I get rid of all this. We don't need a black on it. All right. 1 success, 5 advantages.
Ooh, God. Dang.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay.
Agile.
All right. And I should have gotten you to do this beforehand, but we're going to do it one time. Quigley. Quigley.
Dun,
Give
dun,
me
dun, dun,
your
dun, 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 dun.
Make it Underworld or Street. Let's just do Streetwise. That's fine. Whatever.
Streetwise is cunning,
Streetwise.
right?
Huh?
Streetwise is cunning, right?
It is cunning. You're gonna do 2 purple, 1 black. No reds.
One success, one threat.
Okay, so you are taking the lead as to guiding the other two in the directions that you need to go. You don't quite know where you're going yourself. You're just running. You're just trying to get, put as much distance between where blaster fire is coming from and yourself and your friends. Zal and Cookie, you guys are keeping up with him. You guys are jumping over garbage, jumping over sleeping bodies, climbing the fences or anything, making vaulted leaps over things that Quigley is doing. Quigley looks like he is in his element here. He is like a little squirrel running.
Little squirrel.
You are a little squirrel. You are running. You are running through the alleyways like a squirrel who knows where they are going. It is obvious that he has done this before. It is also obvious that this has been his life at maybe possibly some point. We don't know yet. But as you run, Quigley, the sensation of being watched slowly begins to dissipate, but you know that if you go to if you were to return to that district, to that area that you were in with heavily with a lot of people and heavy security, you know that you would feel those eyes on you again. It's an old feeling, and Bit would actually know this as well, that where there's money on Nar Shaddaa, there is security. So there this is what's going through your mind. And again, you might have a friend here. You might have somebody who could at least give you some amount of shelter for at least a night or for at least some hours so you can kind of gather yourself. um is that something that you would pursue, or would you just kind of continue to head towards, I'm guessing, the safe house? Where are you leading people in your head?
So, his first thing he wants to do is to collect Bit and Jen. And then he would pursue getting to the person that he knows, like his contacts. I want to say that in the safe house would be like a variety of things that he left just to like make it through. Like it's like it's a safe house. Like it has lockdown stuff. Like, you know, food for a while. You know, sleeping arrangements for a few days for different people, different clothes, things to change out of to make yourself look different, and different identities to try and get off of the planet. But that only takes you so far without the proper connections. So it also has like a list of people that he used to work with.
Okay.
Um, so that
So
would
you're
be his best bet.
Okay. You know that to get to the safe house from this location, the easiest, the quickest way would be to cut through this casino district. The other option is to kind of skirt around the edge of it, heading ever closer to the Hut Palace, where you put your safe house. um, uh, so you do have those two. Those are the fork in the road for you right now. You're kind of leading the other two. You know this area better than anyone. You have seen what can occur from going into a very heavy populated area and not maintaining stealth. You also know that on the outskirts, there's still people that could be after you as well. It's just there's less of them. It's there are harder criminals out there. There are more the that area, or it's more of a shipping freight industrial area as opposed to the casino area that you're in now. It's a little bit if it could be any seedier on Narshada, it's seedier there. But those are your two options. You know that you have more stealth in the going around shipping area, but you do also have the possibility of being able to blend back into a crowd, possibly going into through the casino district, and that's quicker. That's going to get you there tonight. Possibly going around the border could take a day. That could take a full day, and you don't know where Bit is. You don't know where Bit or Jen is. The bulletin board did not have an X over her, so she has not been captured dead or whatever. But you don't know where she is.
Quigley is going to hand the. Oh no, he's not got the chain anymore. He dropped that shit. So he's going to just kind of look at him and look back to them, and he's like, I'm taking the shorter route, and we're going to stick in the casino district. If not, it's going to cut a whole day off, but I want to grab my kids. And just keeps heading through. Like he stops like full out sprinting and kind of is like walking briskly with purpose, and keeping his head on a swivel as he if he can't get around somebody and someone's in the way, he will gently remove them from his path.
How do you do that? Explain that.
You know how when somebody's in your way, like at a grocery store or something, and you just kind of like, excuse me, and they don't move.
Yeet!
So you push
That's
your
how I'm
cart
imagining it.
into them.
Wookie yeet. Yeah, Wookie
Wookie
just cookie
Never
in the
going
way.
grocery shopping with you.
Don't
Daniel
ever.
tackles people in the grocery store, apparently. No, I'm kidding.
Throwing people into the frozen peas again.
Black Friday shopping.
This is your man.
No.
So you're gingerly moving
Walmart
people.
Smackdown.
Yeah.
Doing
So
the excuse me.
just kind of like, he won't say anything to draw attention. He'll just kind of like place a hand on like the smaller back and just kind of move them forward to let them know that somebody is behind them and they need to get by.
But you are continually, all three of you continuing to maintain a quickened pace, if not like haul an ass, then, power walking very quickly, but also trying to like sneak.
Right.
Cookie is finally walking at like full stride,
Yeah.
as opposed to having
that's
to
so
like do the little like short steps
Yeah.
to slow down for everybody else.
It's really hard for you actually not to outpace Quigley. Like your legs are made for being Wookiee and for like tree hoppings.
Yep. And running through the dark places and the
Yep, the dark
underbrush.
places.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, and Zal, you find it a little hard to keep up, but you're doing, you're fine. And with your good agility rolls, you're able to
Parkour.
Yeah, parkour.
Yeah.
You're able to start heading towards the direction that Quigley is guiding you, which is directly through the apex of the casino district. Are you going to try and take as many alleyways as possible, Quigley? Are you going to try and be as stealthy as possible, or are you going back into those main streets?
Like he'll try to keep out of the main area of everything and take like the roundabout ways when he can find a good time to split off, but he won't go out of his way to take an alleyway.
Okay. All right. So as you continue, as you go along, you are right now you have managed to get away from the commotion by at least a mile at this point. It's in the past, or it's behind you enough that you no longer hear the blaster fire, the shouts, the scream of security droids approaching. You think that you've lost them, or you think that you have lost the eyes that had been upon you as you carefully re-enter, kind of the main one of the main drags of this area, one that would lead you pretty close to your safe house, or in the direction of your safe house. um you're kind of are you gonna like are you disguising yourself any further, any of you, or are you just gonna kind of tuck and hide in between like alcoves and that type of thing?
If there's something that Quigley can see that he could possibly like disguise himself with, then yeah, he'll take it. But he's not gonna like I said, he's not gonna go out of his way to do anything extra at this point.
Okay. And you guys?
Cookie is more in favor of hauling ass than hiding at this point in time.
Okay. Zal?
Um, so Zal's actually going to like pull off a little bit. Like still she has Quigley like in sight, but she also wants to like be apart from them because they're the two that are wanted. Her face wasn't on the sign. So if she's to the side, she could get more information from what people are saying if they're watching, from the side. Um, just trying to make it seem like she's not with them, but is still going the same direction that they are.
Okay.
I'm also wondering if there's a way we could like link comms so that she could still communicate with Quigley, but we're probably not stopping enough to do that.
So right now the comms that Quigley and Cookie have are they haven't. You tell me, guys. You might still have them, or you might not. Quigley,
Well,
you know that.
Quigley's comm is built into his helmet.
Yeah.
And Cookie was using the compad that strapped to their forearm as a main communicator.
Okay, so you both still have yours. You guys are not, as of right now, unless there's something I don't remember. You guys did not sync up with Zal, correct? You guys have not shared your phone numbers, right?
Yeah,
No,
no digits
No.
for you.
No did.
Although I guess she is now my girlfriend, so
Shot you in the leg. Every good.
hey, that's
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 how it
love.
works. Yeah.
That's love. Right?
I
gotta
mean,
have a warrior woman.
is there a way to do that while we're walking, or
Well, not when you're walking. If you wanted to pause for a couple minutes in a darkened alleyway and kind of be like, okay, let's okay, let's sync our comms. You're welcome to do that.
yeah, Quigley probably wouldn't even think about it, honestly. He
Yeah.
would just assume, because since he's taking point, he would assume that they're behind him, and if they're not, that there would be noise. And but he's in that like we almost just died because we are the most wanted people in the fucking universe right now.
I feel like it would be relatively like reflexory. Is that a word?
Reflexive.
I'll keep it. I'll say I accept it.
Cookie,
Reflexive.
it would be really quick and easy for Cookie to just like hit her with those comm, details or whatever it is that we need to communicate.
Zal, would you mention anything to Quigley's kind of a little bit ahead of you, and you said you kind of stepped aside from both of them since they're the wanted ones. Would you say anything?
I would have. I mean, depending on how far up Quigley is, she would have said like, "I'm still following you." And go to side, but we probably wouldn't have had enough time to be like, "Oh, hey, we should link comms."
Okay.
It's more like, yeah, her goal is to figure out where the safe house is, figure out where Bit is, so that she can get the drive.
Yep.
Can't do that with these wanted people.
Okay. So it would not have been mentioned at this point, Cookie, if that is where Cookie's mind is.
No. If it
Okay.
wasn't brought up, then it
Okay.
wouldn't occur to Cookie either.
Okay, that is a good idea, but
Surprising.
you guys are still semi on the run. It seems like you've been on the run ever since you got to this planet, but that's okay, right? That is exactly what happens when you're on Ashina.
You guys are
As
good friends.
as you continue down this one of the more main roads or the main stretches, you're able to see the palace in the distance ahead. Quigley, you know that this means that the safe house it's towards the right of it. It's on the periphery itself. Why you put it here, you have no idea. It's really close to the Hut Palace. But this is where you did it, and that's excellent. That's great.
You hide in plain sight.
Hide in plain sight. Um, so as you continue to move, everybody give me a perception check. Everybody give me a perception check. 2 purple, 1 black. Allergies.
Ouch. 1 threat.
Ooh,
One success.
okay.
That's an advantage. Cancel out a failure.
Okay.
1 advantage, 1 failure. Sorry.
Okay. Quigley, you're kind of the first one to see it since you're on point. Up ahead, it looks like that there is a blockade. It looks like that they have set up a blockade for whatever reason. Might not be anything related to you, but there is a blockade of security droids. Oh my god, I can't think of his name. Rogue One, security droids, KT9SO, right? Saying it, that's it. They security droids that look like that, very big, very they look like they might be refurbished or repurposed Imperial security droids. They're big, they're lunky, as well as some armored and armed bouncing or guards. Most of them look Gamoran, which are the green pig people from Return of the Jedi. I love Gamorans. They, as well as some other species of bouncers and security guards, have lined the street and are blockading it. The blockade is made out of a dark, it's kind of probably something along to carbon fiber or something that would be able to withstand blaster fire, and a lot of it. And it's bisecting the street. It's bisecting what would normally just be a straight shot towards the palace, not the front of the palace, but towards the side. But it's blocked off. It's unusual, but it's not unheard of. Might not be related to you, but that is what you see.
Is there a way to go around?
Absolutely, there's absolutely a way to go around. You can either go left or right. If you go left, that's heading away from your safe house. If you go to the right, that's heading towards your safe house. Yeah.
You would go right.
Okay. As you go right, you see a very dark and a very familiar alleyway. This alleyway is, the direction of your safe house. It is the place where you have been before, and not under the best of circumstances. This is a place where you don't like to take Bit because it brings up bad memories for her. It's not a good place, and it's a place that gives you kind of the creeps. You don't know why. It gives you the creeps. It's the quickest way through. It's the quickest alleyway through. But it still is. It gives you a moment. It gives you a moment of pause. That this stretch of alleyway is not a good place. And you also know that people get jumped here. This is a very good place for people to kind of. There's a sewer grating on one side and some kind of hoveled doors on the other. And this is just a place where people get jumped. You don't know if anybody's there right now. That was your memory. That is your memory with Bits. possibly of a time when she failed at something, possibly when she had to learn a very hard lesson. But it's a bad place for you. As you turn the corner, you see this long alleyway ahead of you. Do you continue on through it?
Yes, but he does have his blaster out.
Okay. All right. I want you all to give me. I don't know what I want you to give me. I want you to give me a survival roll. Give me a survival roll. 2 purple, 1 black, 1 red. What'd you get, James?
3 threats for the Wookiee.
Oh no. Okay. Sam? Zal?
2 failures.
Oh no. Quigley.
4 threat.
Lord. You guys are great. No, this is excellent. So as you start to walk down this rather kind of dark alleyway, both of you notice, Cookie and Zal, you notice that Quigley's pace changes. Although you guys are still trying to walk fast, he readies his blaster. His demeanor kind of changes. And this is not a good feeling alleyway. As you start to move through, Quigley, you see something to your left-hand side. It's a quick flash. It's a quick flash of metal. And you know that it's the barrel of a blaster rifle. You know this. You have moments, seconds to react. You have readied your blaster at this point. You can try and take a shot before it, but it's not going to be as accurate as you would if you had a second to aim it properly. This is more of like a reaction. Or would you alert Zal and Cookie behind you? Or any other idea?
Can he like tumble forward, like into a roll, like jump forward into
Absolutely.
a tumble?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'll do that.
All right. So you tumble forward. Cookie and Zal, you see Quigley suddenly tumble forward. And you, both of you will see the glints, several glints actually, of blasters. 2 on your left-hand side, 2 on your right-hand side. It was as if they just kind of appeared. You're not sure how, you're not sure, what has happened, but suddenly 4 very cloaked figures turn, their blasters catching the light, the faint light that is still coming in from the main casino district, as they level on you. You all will have a shot, or you all have a chance to shoot if you would like. However, the blasters that are on you right now are almost at point blank range. And this would be a very quick firefight probably, but you all have the chance to shoot if you would like, because you all have blasters and you all are able-bodied people, so you can absolutely take a shot if you would like.
How far back would, because Zal wasn't going in at the exact same time Quigley was. She was still like following back slightly.
Okay.
So I'm just wondering, like, how far would you think that they'd be, and how wide is this alleyway?
The alleyway is about it's fairly narrow. It's about 3 feet, 3 feet wide. It's hard to tell from where these people came from, where these you didn't see them. They were kind of against the walls, and then suddenly they were there, or like it was suddenly like you couldn't see them, but you could feel them.
I thought that was a trash bag.
Exactly. But it's still, the sense of it was very foreboding. You are for if you didn't go in right after Quigley, you're a couple paces behind him. Cookie, where were you in kind of the marching order?
I was actually thinking that I was right behind Quigley,
Okay.
but with the running and whatnot, Cookie would have dropped the bowcaster to the sling behind them.
Mhm.
And so I don't think that Cookie would have had the bowcaster out and ready to go at this point in time, but was kind of leaning more towards being prepared with a melee attack with the truncheons that Cookie carries. These kind
Yeah.
of like long, slender, like almost like baseball bats that Cookie kind of carries slung either on the back or at the waist.
Mhm.
But when this happens, it's one of those like we might be outgunned. So rather than react, Cookie just kind of like freezes when Quigley does the dive roll and is kind of like in that ready to
Oh,
leap towards the closest cloaked figure, but was going to avoid the blaster fire just because it would probably bring more attention towards us.
Okay. So Quigley, you rolled. You rolled, and as you rolled, do you stand up immediately, or do you start firing immediately? What did you roll? You
So
tuck and rolled.
it's quite literally a Han Solo move. In a roll, popped up like from the side, leaned back, and just kind of like brought his blaster up from like underneath of his chest, and pulled the trigger at the nearest one.
Okay.
So yeah, no, he's firing.
Okay, that's fine.
But
What?
let me know my negatives, and I will start rolling because I spent XPs for this.
Oh man. Oh man.
Ooh.
And yeah, if Quigley fires, Cookie's going to attack. So
Okay. All right. So as you do that, Quigley, it'll be two purple
Okay.
for that shot. You're gonna shoot it. Um, I'll let you tell me how much damage or how much it does. There was a figure standing in front of you.
So
So
I got 2 successes, 1
Okay.
advantage.
Okay, that's fine. That's good. That's okay. Yeah. Is there any more? That was it.
So like I know you're gonna do something that I don't like
I
because
know.
you got that face.
I do. I have a
You got
face.
you're not gonna like this face. But he does have a double shot ability, so
Okay.
I get to pull the trigger twice.
So as you do you do that? Do you pull the trigger twice?
Uh,
When does it when do you know when you would establish? Does it say anything in that ability of when you would establish when that second shot, or is it automatic if you land the first one?
it's just you pretty much say that you're doing it. Like it's a let me see.
Toe?
It's part of the gunslinger talent tree. No, I just gotta let you know what I'm doing in the
Okay.
beginning.
All right. So I'll give you the option. So here you've tuck and rolled. You do your cool Han Solo move. You stand up. Phew, doesn't matter who is in front of you. You blow it. It was a bit. Just kidding. I should have, but I didn't. Should have.
I was quite literally like, well, I'm going to bed
Bye,
and I'll
guys.
never
Bye.
talk to you again.
I know. No, but what you do hit, the person that you hit grunts. Ugh, as he gets shot and gets kind of thrown back into the brick. But you see what looks to be maybe sparks or something from the chest region that you just shot. As you see his hand kind of extend out. Wait. Wait, your fire. You got me. And you'll see the mask of the person in front of you would have been a familiar one if you had taken a moment. It would have been a lot like yours, but it was not gank. This mask would have been acquired by a very, very angry hut bouncer that you might have wrecked with this person. As the person removes their mask, dusty blonde hair kind of falls over his ice blue eyes. A smile that is both hollow, sad, and a little bit warming um, greets you as you look at your friend, an old friend named Kay. As they kind of stand up from the burnt brick or from the wall that you shot, he kind of laughs and like pulls his hand away as he looks at the blood on his hand. And just like, you're barely worth this price. uh,
Why
he's
are
gonna
you
kind
in
of
the? What?
he's gonna kind of wave at the four others that have their blasters on you, and is gonna, as he does that, they drop the blaster pointers, and he's just like, "You're making a lot of noise for being here. You do know that, right?"
You just
There,
put a bunch of blasters in my face.
you're all over the HoloNet, buddy. You're screwed. Oh my god, you're so screwed. And as he begins to cough, and as he does so, flecks of blood kind of spurt out of his mouth. Um, and he gives a very hacking, dry cough. This cough, Zal and Quigley, you would probably know this. Cookie, you might know this. If you've ever seen somebody in the grasp of a death stick addiction, this is what it looks like. And you can tell that from the pallor of his face and his sunken eyes, and just the way he looks, that this person is addicted to something. Um, but nonetheless, they're standing there, having been shot by Quigley, and as he just shakes his head and goes, "I knew you would come back here. I knew you would come back here, and I knew you'd come back to that house. As soon as I saw you, I knew where you would be."
Well, I'm glad that you know. Is there a reason why you're waiting behind a trash can in the alleyway behind my house?
Your house? It's my house. You left.
Whatever. Is my kid in there?
He's gonna kind of like make a motion for the other people that have the blasters at you. As you can see now, they remove very well camouflaged cloaks for this area, specifically for this area. This is like where they've kind of set up shop. And as they do so, he kind of motions for them as they retreat, or they get pulled back, and he'll kind of motion them to head down another alleyway, and he'll kind of shake his head and go, "Bit, haven't seen her. Hasn't been here. But what you guys need to do right now is get off of this level. Get off from this all the security. They're after you. They're after you big time, guys. You're worth more than the goddamn Imperial Navy." It's gonna kind of laugh as he motions for you. "Come on, go into your safe house." Our
Cookie
safe
is
house.
looking like legitimately disappointed that they don't get to like rip somebody's arms off. Like, but real.
They'll look at you and be like,
Right.
"You're gonna have plenty of time to do that." He's gonna cough. He's gonna cough another raspy cough as kind of more blood flecks out. He's like, "You got me."
Cookie's like nose wrinkles anytime like the wind shifts, so that she can so they can smell this guy, like the death coming off of this guy. Cookie
Yeah.
is just like appalled.
So yes, you have as Kay begins to move, you'll all see that he walks with a limp. The sound, and Cookie, you'll recognize this immediately. His left leg is mechanized. It's a mechanical leg. From the knee down, maybe a little bit above the knee. As well as his left hand. His left hand appears to also be mechanical. And the way he walks and the way he limps, it looks like that he has seen quite a bit of action in his time. His age, though, is kind of undefinable. It's you think that maybe he's in his early 40s, possibly. Quigley, he's in his late 20s. Uh, this guy has seen some years. So as you guys continue towards the safe house, he'll look back at you, Quigley, and kind of look towards the others and kind of say, so Bit's lost.
Shit went down, and it was better if she wasn't with us at the time, so I told her to come to the safe house. And then, lo and behold, I find out that we have 50,000 Nova crystals on our head.
He's gonna laugh at that. He's gonna shake his head and go, every goddamn bounty hunter guild, the Black Sun huts, it doesn't fucking matter. They're all after you. They're all after you. What did you do? What did you do? And you know that he's gonna kind of look at the back of like the rest of you. You know that bounty, that's not the Empire's bounty. Whoever put that bounty on outbid the Empire. You don't know. The
Okay.
person who is after you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do me a favor. For once in your life, stop fucking laughing.
I can't. This is funny.
It's next
And
time
it's
I'm gonna
going
pull.
it's going to get real funny for all of you really, really soon. And with
You hear
that,
the bow. You hear the bowcaster just cock behind
That's
him.
fine. He'll kind of wave and go like, put it down. It's not going to be for me. It's not going to be for me. I don't have the manpower. I'm not going to bring you in. He's going to kind of look up towards the safe house as he's moving you guys towards the entryway into it. It's like, I don't have enough time to spend all of that money. I guess they could put me in a metal suit, but what's the fun in that? No, I'm just going to keep laughing. And with that, he'll lead you into the safe house as the other his other bodyguards and the other guards kind of disperse around it, once again going into hiding into these alleyways, these back alleyways that they have staked out for many, many months, for one reason or another. And we're going to end it here tonight. We are going to end it with the door closing at the safe house, with you guys being let in by Kay, Quigley's friend. Yes! Congratulations, guys! Got through a portion.
Yay!
Yay. I am Alex. We're going to go around and say our goodbyes before we sign off. Again, this is Penny for a Tale, Star Wars Empire, Edge of the Empire, Fantasy Flight game. If you like us, please like and subscribe. Let's take a look. Who has it? It's me. No, is it me? I can't
It's
tell.
you.
It's me. Look at me.
It's
Yay.
Alex.
It's me. So right below me, hit the subscribe, hit the like, hearty button, follow any of that stuff. Take a look at our Facebook, our Instagram, our Twitter, any Tumblr, anything else that we have. I don't
Talk
know.
about a throwback.
Yeah,
I
Tumblr.
know, Tumblr.
Don't.
Not our fans only page. That's not there yet. But yes, please like and subscribe. We're going to go around. James.
Yep, like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out the Patreon over at patreon.com/pennyforatale. You can find me here every other Monday night, hopefully, for the foreseeable future. I do want to come back with the once you go Wookiee quote. So I've got a couple of them. Looky, looky, dancing Wookiee, I think is the third runner-up.
I love that.
After a night with a Wookiee, you'll have to play hooky. I don't know if I'm liking that one. For a really good nookie, find you a Wookiee.
I like that one. That is it. That's it.
Or my personal favorite, until you've had Wookiee, you're just a rookie. May the force be with you.
Thank you, James. Yes. Sam.
Cool. I don't even think I can top that. Just end it. Yeah. I'm Sam. You can find me here every other Monday. Penny does have a stream tomorrow at 8:30. We're hosting 12 Inner Demons, whose Kickstarter is live now. You can check them out. And then on Wednesday we're changing it up a little bit, and we'll be hosting Encounter Roleplay, where Mitch is doing a cult campaign with them. So that's kind of where our cult stuff has gone for right now. So
What is this? I
lots of
don't
big
like this.
stuff. I know.
Sorry, that's Hans. Hans, get out of here. I can't get out. I'm a squirrel. All right.
No,
Thank you,
it's
Sam. Yes.
yeah,
Is there anything else? P for T.
not just for that.
We have a lot of stuff, and I never know what it is, but Sam does, so that's good.
I know the things.
You know
That's my job.
Daniel, love of my life.
Hi, I'm Daniel. I played Quigley, the gank, tonight, who is still looking for his children all over Nar Shaddaa. I'm here all the time, every other Monday, every Friday, either with Scion or with a short rest series, and then every Sunday with Ian with Pathfinder. Yeah, I'm always here.
And I am not. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Tune in next 2 weeks for another Star Wars game. Sundays are I can't talk anymore. Pathfinder Age of Ashes game, amazing game. I'll be there. I hope to see you guys there. That's it. We're gonna call it a night. Have a good night, everyone. May the force be with you, and I'll see you again.